Hello ladies, it's Susan with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a card demonstration for you today. This is the card I'm going to be making. It's using two stamp sets together. We're going to be using the Just Add Text stamp set, which is really nice to add to background images, and Daisy Delight, which is what we're using to make our background image. See? Okay, so we're also going to be using a mask and some daubers to put on our color. So I'm just going to get right to it. So here's our kit. So we've got Whisper White envelope. I've got a Whisper White card base and an Island Indigo card front. Then I have a piece of basic black, and then I'm using shimmer white so that it gives our face a little bit more shine to it. And then we're going to stamp our words and cut that out with our punches. And then I'm using this new black shimmer ribbon. It's got kind of that shimmery sheen to it too. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to do this just to get it out of the way first. So I'm going to stamp my expression here on my shimmer white. And then I'm using my 2-inch circle punch to punch that out. Just about the right size, and then that's going to get snailed right to an Island Indigo circle that I pre-punched with the 2 1/4 inch punch. So punches make a nice way to just make a cute tag that fit right inside each other. So that's ready for the end of our card. Okay, so now I'm using Daffodil Delight, Island Indigo, and Soft Sky for the 3 colors that I'm daubing through a mask to make that background pattern. Okay, and a little tip is I take a little sticker and I put a label on my daubers and label what color I used it with. Because sometimes after you've used it, I'd be like, that's Soft Sky? No, wait, but that's what it is. So that makes a nice way of keeping them organized. Now, as you can see, I've made a mask. So just a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I use 3 different size circle punches, and then I'm using that as my mask to cover over my card front piece here. So you could use it like this, you could tip it, put the circles or half circles where you want it. The mask is bigger than my card front, and I've left a big section in the middle without any holes in it, because when we put this on, you're not really going to see that, so there's really no reason to add color there. Okay, so now I'm just going to daub on take my ink pad and my dauber, and I just get some ink right off the pad like that, and then I'm just going to dot onto my card front, and as you do that, you will see the shimmer in the paper kind of pop right out at you. So I'm doing another one down here. And you just want to hold that mask steady so you get nice clean circles, and then I have a little bit over there, so I'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so now I'm going to go on to Island Indigo. And you can see I've used this mask multiple times. So I just stick with alternating my colors so I don't have 2 circles next to each other that are the same color. So think a trio of colors if you do that, and you could really do this in any colors. You know, you could change it up and do it with pinks or greens, oranges, lots of color options in our color families. And then I'm using the Soft Sky. Now the Soft Sky may seem like an odd color to use, but it pairs nicely with the Island Indigo, so that's why I used it. So, and then the other thing, if you want to, like I'm daubing it and it's kind of giving it the sponge look because they're sponge daubers. If you want more of a smooshed look, they call it, then you can just rub your dauber in there and it'll be more of a flat painted circle look. But I do like the sponged effect, so I'm going to leave mine with the sponge type look to it. Okay, so there's my front. We have our tag. Okay, so this is just going to get mounted to the basic black. Stand up so I can get this on straight. And remember, all my measurements are on my blog on the recipe sheet, so don't worry about me not telling you what the sizes are. You can go right there and get what you need. And then I've cut 2 pieces of ribbon. One's going to tuck around the back side, right onto that snail. Okay, and then here's my card front, so now I'm going to snail the whole thing down to my card front. Maybe a little extra blue at the bottom, just so it's up a little bit. Press that on really well. Now I'm going to go ahead and mount this to my card base, which is Whisper White. Now I could have made the whole card Island Indigo and then put a Whisper White liner in it, but as it turns out, when I was putting these kits together for my event, I was running low on Island Indigo, so this is a way to save that colored paper and not have to cut a separate liner. So instead I have a card base that's white and a card front that's the blue. Okay, now I'm going to add dimensionals. Oh, here they are. I'm going to add 2 dimensionals to pop this label on. Oh, can everybody see what I forgot to do? Ha, ha, ha. I'm like, why does that card look so plain? I forgot to add my daisies. So, here we go. What do you do when you forget to do something? You fix it. So here's we go, fixing it. So I'm just going to put a piece of scrap paper there to mask off my edge. See how this works. I'm stamping one there. Stamping one here. Oh, this will be the trickier one. Alright, let's put the mask down here at the bottom. So you should stamp your daisies before you put your ribbon on and before you put it all together. So I'm just going to put an edge of a daisy there. So it won't be exactly the same, but that's okay. Cards don't have to be exactly the same. Alright, so I fixed it. Now I'm going to put my tag on over here. And then I have another piece of ribbon. And because this isn't snailed down, I'm sliding that underneath. Like so. So, and this ribbon's nice, it shimmers on both sides, so it doesn't matter if there's on a wrong side or a right side. So I'm just going to tie a symbol knot there, and then I pull my 2 ends up together and use my paper snips and just give them an even cut together. So there's my card. Okay, with the correction. And then on my envelope, I'm just going to use that daisy punch again. The daisy stamp. Sorry, not the punch, the stamp. And I'm just adding a black and white image there. Okay, so. See, you're not the only ones that make mistakes when you do cards. So there's the one I did first. So you're supposed to do 4 daisies before you put the ribbons on. I forgot. But you saw how I saved it, so don't panic if you don't do something. Just find a way around it to make it right. Okay, so there's the 2. I forgot to do this. So now I've take your markers, and I take the paintbrush tip, and I'm just adding a little swish of color. So this one's Island Indigo, and then I'm using the Daffodil Delight on the top and the bottom. There. Okay, so now it's done. But I'm going to go ahead and show you. I have a couple of other color variations on this too. Alright, so here's the Island Indigo one. Then I mounted it on soft sky and changed my soft sky, the mount to soft sky. See, I even flipped it over to that other side. And then I even put one on, now this isn't daffodil yellow, this is a retired piece of yellow. It's even the texture paper, but you can see 3 cards. They're the same card, but they're not exactly the same. So you can change up the cards that I present to you or that you see on Pinterest or that you see from other people. Make it your own. Use the colors you have. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's a really simple card to put together. A lot of you have this daisy set, so I thought it was kind of a fun piece to do together. So hope you enjoyed it. And remember, all my details will be on the blog at Pumpkin Hill Stampers, photo, video, and the recipe link. Okay, ladies, happy stamping!